There's got to be a better way to do that. And so I went to the literature. Actually, a lot of the literature I found was pretty taxative, that the worst is a non-structured interview process. That'll get you nothing. A structured interview process is a little bit less of a crapshoot. Work samples are apparently a little bit less of a crapshoot than a structured interview. And remarkably, when you ran the regressions, what other people that had spent years working with these people you're about to hire had to say about them is by far the least bad predictive element. And then when I read that, I said, this is so obvious. I mean, it's evident if you work it back. The issue with reference checks is A, they can be a little bit cumbersome, but most importantly, and especially in Latin America, they're almost done as this check. The guy isn't psychotic. But and even more so, I think in LATAM, there's this understanding that when you get called upon to give a reference check, the last thing you want to do is complicate the poor person who's about to get a job, because it's considered to be the last piece of a process where he's practically hired. And so it's not so much about the great questions I ask, it's how do I set the stage very early on that I'm able to try to break that barrier of I'm just going to sort of get out of this in 10 minutes without sinking the person, right? So it's just saying, look, I really need very honest feedback. This is in the strictest of confidence. It's making sure you're not just going to the people they gave you. It's to find the right sample set. And then most importantly, it's making sure you ask, what are the strengths? There you do a structured interview almost. What are the weaknesses, right? And what issues did you have with this person? But if you can get the person to basically think, okay, he really wants an honest take, and I'm going to give it to him and I'm not going to feel guilty about it, then you've accomplished that. And again, just think about it, going back to the beginning. It's so obvious that someone who's worked with someone over a 3 or 5 year period will have pretty much all the insights you need to determine whether it's the right person or not.